to do with their overall success the last 3.5 seasons, more so than their overall ability. Also, with Steph being out, I didn't think the team was going to get better. I mean, you're talking about one of the pure superstars, third best player in the world. He's out of the lineup. The team is supposed to suffer. It's a team built to have 4 superstars function at a high level for them to be able to play the style for which they play. So I believe they're going to be okay. They'll be in the Western Conference Finals.
So the Eagles won their first Super Bowl. As we move on, they're not resting on their laurels. So far this season, they've added Michael Bennett, Mike Wallace, and Haloti Ngata. However, according to reports, some anonymous NFL execs, those are CeCe's favorite kind, by the way, they're not impressed with the moves at all. CeCe, what do you think of basically what the Eagles have done so far this season?
Yeah, a lot of these execs, they're former NFL execs. They're on their second and third career, but they got strong opinions of a team that won the Super Bowl, a team that didn't have their starting quarterback that was in his second year. He's only going to be better in year 3. Now they have the best backup situation from a quarterback in Nick Foles. He's proven himself. Oh, and what about these other few veterans that they've added along the way? So I'm just going to keep evaluating Philadelphia on what Howie Roseman is doing and how I feel about him compared to this former exec, whatever he is, mystery guy.
And by the way, like, I wonder what this exec was saying about the Patriots going into last year. They were the defending Super Bowl champs. They were very active in the offseason. Now, Philly didn't have to trade away their first-round pick to go get Brandon Cooks. They signed Michael Bennett. They trade for Michael Bennett. They signed Mike Wallace. Like, Torrey Smith was fine. Mike Wallace is better. Vinny Curry was fine. Michael Bennett is better. They didn't even lose anyone in the place where Haloti Ngata's in. He's just rotational. Like, I got no criticism about how the Eagles handled their offseason. None whatsoever. Like, you can't even say, oh, they're thinner at quarterback because they've held on to Nick Foles. Like, no, I don't buy into that criticism at all.
All right, to the NFL now. Cowboys left tackle Tyron Smith says he's, quote, feeling great now, and he's in the best shape he's been in a while. It's good news for Dallas. Over the last 2 seasons, Cowboys are 19-7 with when Smith does play, and they're just 500 when he does not. CeCe, how important is a healthy Tyron Smith for the Cowboys?
Now, we're talking about the best offensive lineman in the NFL. Now, he makes a huge difference. The last couple years, he has battled injuries, and it's not only been the games that he's missed, but he's suffered where he hadn't been able to practice. Well, they didn't even know if he was going to be available for the game. And if you think that wouldn't affect a young quarterback, if you would think that wouldn't affect the best offensive line, then you don't know how football was being played. He is that kind of great player that it would affect that. It would affect Zeke, to run the football and the variance for which they can call plays or how many times they had to put a tight end over to help out that tackle. So I'm a big fan of Tyron Smith. He's a tremendous football player. We don't talk about offensive linemen on this show enough, but he's the most talented offensive lineman in the NFL.
Wow, I mean, you said something there twice. That's a hell of a statement. Best offensive lineman in the league, and then buttoned it up with the most talented offensive lineman in the league. And I can't disagree with you. And so when you're evaluating him, it's last year. It's not just the 3 games he missed. The 2 games he missed right around the Zeke suspension when they went 0-2. Then he also missed Week 17, a somewhat meaningless game. They knew they were out of the playoffs. He wasn't healthy. He didn't look like the Tyron Smith from 2015 or 16 at any point last year. When we talk about Zeke getting 1,120 yards on first down in 2016, so many of those highlights are runs to the left, where Tyron Smith mauls his first guy, the D lineman, and then is down even with Zeke clearing a path to take on a safety or a corner or a linebacker. A healthy Tyron Smith, the athleticism is what separates himself from the other great left tackles. Like his ability to continue the blocks 10 yards downfield, 15 yards downfield. When you ask at the combine, why do we care what a lineman's 40 time is? We don't really care about their 40 time, but maybe their 10 and 20 yard splits in the 40. How quickly can he get there? That's the part of his game we didn't see as much last year because even when he was playing, he wasn't fully healthy.
How much more encouraged are you about what Dak can do and how much more confidence Dak will have if got Tyron Smith?
It means a lot. The confidence level of a quarterback knowing that the backside is protected. It goes to the offense because the coach can call different things. Like you have more bullets in your gun. You have more arrows in your quiver to be able to go to because he's a superstar. And we don't say that about offensive linemen too much, but realizing, man, he is that type of football player, and that confidence will go right into the quarterback.
And one other thing you got to realize about the Cowboys offensive line. We talk about they have 3-star offensive linemen. Well, Well, the other two other than Tyron Smith are interior guys, Zach Martin and Travis Frederick. So when Tyron Smith isn't out there, or when he's not 100%, all of a sudden, especially when he's not out there, you're at a negative, not at both tackle spots. It'd be one thing if one of their other star linemen was their right tackle. Like, when he's out of the game, all of a sudden you're a negative at left tackle, you're average at right tackle, and so that you saw the trickle-down effect for their entire offensive line.
All right, new topic, Floyd Mayweather. He retired with a 15-0 record as a boxer after he beat Conor McGregor this past August. He said he will never return to the boxing ring. Someone needs to tell him how retirement actually works. But over the weekend, he hinted at a move to the octagon.
Retirement has been great, but as you know and everybody know, I go in retirement, I come back. I go in retirement, I come back. Is it possible that I come back? Yes, but if I do come back, it has to be in the octagon.
And there's a reason he's even talking about it, because the money is right. It's going to happen.
Okay, so that's not actually retirement. That's just, I'm not going to fight for a while, then I'll just come back, and then
It's the Michael Jordan plan of retirement. I retire, I come back, I retire, I come back, call them all retirements. Go ahead, Jenna.
Teed you up on that one. You fell right for it. You did like a triple.
I'm just saying, I mean, I don't know. I don't see the difference, but go ahead.
Do you want to see Floyd Mayweather and Conor go at it again, but this time on Conor's home turf?
Maybe I am in the minority here. Listen, I'm not a huge fan of Floyd Mayweather, the guy, seems like not a great guy. Given some things he's been accused of, some of the things we know he's done. So we've got to be able to separate that from Floyd Mayweather, the athlete. Floyd Mayweather, the athlete, is one of the most technically sound and physically gifted and dedicated to training athletes of my lifetime. Like, his work ethic is second to none. His training regimen is, amongst boxing historians, they would say it's as good as anyone of the modern era. And so I say all that to say this. If he actually wanted to do this seriously, and they weren't going to say this fight's in 8 weeks, but if he dedicated himself to training for mixed martial arts for the bulk of a year, to where he could minimize where his obvious weaknesses would be in the octagon.
Are you going to say that he's got a chance to compete or a chance to win?
I would say that I would not question Floyd Mayweather's ability in a combat sport if he dedicates himself to the training required for it. Obviously, there's no kicking in boxing, there's no takedowns in boxing. He would have to be fully and truly dedicated to learning how to avoid the takedowns, learning how to sustain the kicks. But this guy is a special athlete of this era. So I wouldn't, yes, I'd be interested in seeing it. Assuming it's not happening in a couple months. Assuming he was actually going to dedicate himself to it, to give himself the best chance to actually win, not just collect a check.
Right.
Yes, I'd be interested.
What do you think?
Absolutely.
I call myself dedicated. I spend a lot of time working out, working on my craft to play football. I spend a lot of time playing golf. I ain't no damn pro, though. So to try to think that you're going to get a carryover, because I'm an expert in boxing, I'm an expert with my defense, I'm the best that they've ever seen in the boxing game as far as doing the void punches, and you think that's going to carry over to grappling on the ground, mixed martial arts?
It's a different sport.
Okay, y'all pick the class for which we're going to fight in. Let me pick the fighter, okay? Because if this is the real UFC that I'm a fan of, this is not WWE.
Yeah.
This ain't no arrangement, all right?
It's scripted.
Okay, look at them legs. Those legs are not built for UFC. Okay, so I don't give him no carryover because, oh, I'm an expert in this area, and then, oh, we can carry that over to another sport. And if you give me enough time, at 40 years old, oh, no. No, if he was 20 years old, then we might have, maybe there might be some legitimacy to that. But at this age, no, he's not becoming no third-degree black belt. Like, these people are dangerous. He can really get hurt in the UFC. So I'm not interested in seeing that. Well, I don't pay for it anyway, but I wouldn't be paying for it.
Let me ask you this. You mentioned you being a golfer. What if while you were still playing football, if you took a year to train and dedicate yourself to being, hold on, I'm not saying golf, to being an amazing center fielder? Do you think you could have become, and I know you could have played the defense part of it. Do you think you could have made yourself an adequate enough hitter to give yourself a chance?
No.
No.
No, the hardest thing in any sport is to hit a fastball or curveball in sport. No, absolutely not. Now, you see Tim Tebow in Double-A? All right? You've only seen a few guys do it. Deion Sanders did it. Bo Jackson did it. No, there ain't no carryover, bruh. No, ain't no carryover somebody down on your legs and everything compared to being a void. No. Oh, no. Let me pick the fighter. Dana White, let me pick somebody to fight that dude.
When you say, let me, can
I hope his will was made out. Hope his insurance is paid up.
Go ahead.
Because that's what's getting ready to happen.
No, I noticed you asked him, and you didn't ask me if I carried over from, say, like volleyball
I thought
to
you were
any of the
say
other.
something interesting. Not about your volleyball career.
Oh, because asking him if he could be a professional golfer.
He's a Hall of Fame athlete. You played
It's a completely
volleyball
different
as a
sport.
sophomore at
Nick,
some
it is
tiny
two
school.
different skill sets, completely.
Let's do this.
And it's not a
This is what we're going to
tiny-
do.
What?
We're only going to talk about my career on TV.
Thank you.
And then y'all can talk about y'all's career during the coffee break.
Thank you.
Thank you. We've heard about your basketball
no,
donkey
no,
for
no,
a long
Jenna.
time. All right, you're right.
Thank you.
Walk
Ain't
that
nobody
back.
out there on the volleyball circuit.
Walk that
you.
back. I can. 3 people text me right
Coming
now.
up, can Carson
Yeah.
win?
Did they
Change
text you
his
they were
style
watching
to
the
stay
show?
healthy? Bring